Would you lie about your age to net a younger lover? Love, or is it lust, is so thin on the ground these days you're encouraged to grab it when and where you find it. Which is exactly what Mope did. She runs a thriving modest creche, and was at this lavish 40th birthday bash when she ran into Lou. It was a lively party, said Mope, when she called at mine to see if she could find a solution to the problem she created for herself. I'd gone in the company of a few friends and we were all happily nattering together when I went to replenish my drink. I was clutching a half-filled bottle of champagne when Lou, another member of our group, cornered me. He'd been giving me the eye all evening, but I had ignored him. He looked a bit too young for my liking. "Shall we go somewhere quieter?" he now asked, taking my arm. I allowed him to lead me on my stiletto, ignoring the blister on my left feet as we plonked on two chairs near the door. "Tell me about yourself," he said as he brushed my hand with his, pretending to balance my glass. Close to, he was a very dishy man and I became instantly drawn to him. My head started thudding loudly. What could I tell him? That beyond my tight dress and push-up bra was a woman as young as he was? "My name is Mope and I'm a single mother of two," I told him. That was true enough. I needn't tell him my two girls were in the university. "You don't look a bit like a mother of two," he said. "You don't look that much older than me. How old are you in 32, Anne?" "I am 272. I must have looked a bit uneasy because he quickly apologized. "Sorry, I shouldn't ask a lady her age." "No problem," I told him. "I'm actually 352, I told him. I lied glibly. He raised his eyebrows but quickly told me, "I like my women mature." I was relieved. He was obviously happy rather than fazed by the apparent 8-year gap. But I cringed inside. Because in reality I was 39, but how could I have admitted that I was some 12 years older than he was? My marriage had ended after 15 turbulent years and I was trying to socialize again. Now, here I was with this hunk who obviously hadn't seen my dyed hair or the small age lines in the dim lighting. I quickly left with my friends after we'd exchanged phone numbers. It had felt so good to be chatted once again. My divorce had hurt me badly and I spent many months gazing at my reflection in the mirror, believing I might not get a chance at romance again. So when Lou called the next day wanting to know if he could take me to dinner, I jumped at the chance. Fearing he might soon realize how old I really was, I rushed to the hairdresser's and applied thick makeup. "You're really a gorgeous woman," Lou complimented as we chatted. I was pleased that we had a lot of things to talk about. At the end of the evening, I was in lust. Though it took a lot of effort for me to stop him from coming into my flat, I wished I had. What if I'd put him off? I thought of my ex, his middle-aged spread and bulging stomach. Why shouldn't I taste this young flesh? Thankfully, he asked to take me out again a few days later. I quickly put on my sexy clothes and sexiest undies. At the end of the night, when he invited himself to the flat again, I agreed. I sat on the bed as he undressed and his lithe body was amazing. For once in years, instead of making love to a sinewy, middle-aged body, there was Lou with all that young, heart-a-rippled sexiness and I wasn't disappointed. He was a stud and I hardly slept a wink that night. I had the flat to myself and we romped all we could. My kids were in their various universities. From then on, we became a couple driven by lust. We shared wonderful sex like giddy teenagers and I sparkled. We confessed we loved each other, but I'm now riddled with guilt. I'll be 40 in a few weeks' time and the girls want to come home to spend the day with me. Alou had already planned an elaborate outing for what he thought would be my 36th birthday. So my darling Madam Worldly Wise, how would you dance out of this particular corner if you found yourself trapped in it? What a poser. But seriously, what has it got to do with me? I told her she danced into a tight corner all by herself and she should be looking for ways out. But I suggested she fob her daughters off. Her birthday fell on a weekday, she should tell them she was inviting a few friends the following Saturday and ask the children to join in. If she was going to confess to anything, I told her, she owed it to herself to have a mind-blowing 40th birthday before letting the cat out of the bag, that Alou had been bunking a partner almost old enough to be his mother. Alou had been anxious to meet Mope's kids. She had given him the impression they were in the boarding house, not really letting on they lived on the campus. Months later, when I ran into Mope, she was still her old self. So how did Loverboy absorb the shock when she finally revealed her age? I haven't told him everything, she said, I can't. Letting him go would be worse than salving my consciences by telling him the truth. You might not believe this, but I really care about him. He'll eventually meet the kids, of course, I can't really hide them away from him forever. I know once he meets them that might be the end of us together. You'd think I was too old to get myself in such a mess, but there you are. It's really true what they say, and that there's no fool like an old fool. Yet what's a few age difference amongst couples who genuinely love each other? It's not as if you'll be hankering after wedding bells when your man is years younger than you. All you want, before it's too late, is the feel of a younger taut and virile body, giving you a physical massage the best masser can never match. And women have given out fortunes to get that feel. It doesn't matter how long such an experience lasts, but how well it makes you feel.